Happy Monday as we come into the last week of April 2022. What a great month it was. There were some amazing events last week. I hope everyone had a great week. Now it is time to start getting ready for 710. In the news this week, at least 28 marijuana and drug reform bills are scheduled for committee hearings this week. Top thing to know. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, made a promise to marijuana activists that his federal legalization bill will actually be introduced by his most recently announced deadline. North Dakota's Secretary of State and Attorney General signed off on the language of a proposed marijuana legalization initiative, clearing activists to begin collecting signatures to place it on the November ballot. A new poll found that a majority of Americans, including Republicans, support decriminalizing drugs. There's also strong support for opening overdose prevention centers where people can consume controlled substances under medical supervision. New Jersey mayors and state lawmakers are pushing back against an attorney general memo clarifying that police can use marijuana while off-duty. But a federal law generally banning guns for cannabis consumers that the opponents are citing also has a little-known exception for government employees like cops. A South Carolina representative filed a bill on April 20 that would require the state to issue pardons for people with marijuana convictions annually on the unofficial cannabis holiday. Staffers for Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, and Representative Dave Joyce, RO, will speak at a Council for Federal Cannabis Regulation event on April 28. Senator Patty Murray, DWA, tweeted, "Washington state cannabis businesses shouldn't have to fear for their safety because of outdated banking laws. Let's pass the #Safe Banking Act and make sure these businesses don't have to operate fully in cash." Senator Tina Smith, DMN, tweeted that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's call to legalize marijuana and expunge convictions is a great idea. I have a bill to legalize adult-use cannabis in every state. Senator Joni Ernst, RYA, discussed the benefits of hemp with a construction contractor. Representative Nancy Mace, RSC, declined to directly answer when asked if she still consumes marijuana. Primary challenger Katie Arrington is calling on her to take a drug test. Representative Earl Blumenauer, DR, tweeted, "Great to see the growth in regenerative organic cannabis products. At Sun and Earth certified products will make a real difference for consumers who care about health plus the environment, and help the farmers and manufacturers who are doing it right." Representative Hakeem Jeffries, DNY, spoke about the injustices of the war on drugs. Pennsylvania Democratic Senate candidates discussed marijuana legalization at a debate. Louisiana Democratic Senate candidate Gary Chambers said there aren't enough black people who own or work for cannabis businesses. Maine Governor Janet Mills, D., signed a bill allowing reimbursements to municipalities of up to $20,000 to cover the procedural costs of allowing recreational marijuana businesses. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, R., signed a bill allowing hemp cultivation sites to be larger. Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak, D., tweeted, "We're thinking big in Nevada, and finding every way we can to support our students, families and economy through new, innovative revenue sources." There's also no industry getting higher than cannabis, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Mississippi's Attorney General issued an opinion on municipalities' ability to regulate medical cannabis businesses. Oklahoma lawmakers sent Governor Kevin Stitt, R., a bill to require medical cannabis cultivation license applicants to file a bond in an amount of no less than $25,000. Kentucky's Senate president pushed back on potential medical cannabis executive actions by Governor Andy Beshear, D. Meanwhile, the representative who is sponsoring a stalled medical marijuana bill said he is worried the governor's move could give patients false hope. Virginia's Senate President Pro Tem tweeted, "Sometimes reporters ask if my support of marijuana could hurt me politically. I don't care if it does. I will stand up for good policy over politics anytime. Plus marijuana is a lot more popular than Glenn Youngkin." A New York senator filed a bill to add coverage of medical cannabis to public insurance programs. Arizona lawmakers are considering legislation to strengthen marijuana testing rules. Ohio House Democrats tweeted about the introduction of a new marijuana legalization bill based on a citizen-initiated measure. A Rhode Island representative spoke about his drug decriminalization bill. A Florida representative tweeted, "For the last 2 years I filed legislation in Florida to allow for the controlled, clinical use of psilocybin to treat depression and PTSD. If elected to the state Senate I will get this passed." The Montana Legislative Services Division published an analysis of marijuana revenue. A federal judge suggested that Illinois regulators' marijuana business licenses process may violate the Constitution's Dormant Commerce Clause. Alabama regulators are opting not to ask lawmakers to give them more time to craft medical cannabis rules. Oregon regulators are moving to implement a moratorium on marijuana business licenses as directed by a new state law. Washington state regulators are seeking applicants to serve on a psilocybin services workgroup. West Virginia's top medical cannabis regulators said the program has created 332 direct jobs in West Virginia, with an additional job growth of 1,884 positions in the fields of commercial construction, security services, and transportation. Vermont regulators will discuss marijuana issues at a meeting on Monday. A poll of U.S. adults found that 69% support legalizing marijuana, 58% say alcohol is more harmful than cannabis, and 91% believe the war on drugs has not been successful in reducing drug use. There is the news for the week to get started. We will keep you updated as we go this week. Thank you for watching this video by my 420 Spot.